What's up, Broncos country? Close your eyes and imagine this. A packed stadium, a sea of orange and blue roaring, and a 5'10", 185-pound guy flying across the field, snagging an impossible catch and leaving defenders in the dust. That's Kyrie's White, the wide receiver nobody saw coming. But who's ready to steal the spotlight at the Denver Broncos 2025 training camp? He doesn't have the draft day hype of the big-name stars, but he's got something we love: heart, grit, and the drive to prove he belongs in our family. Could this underdog be the secret weapon of our offense? Stick with us, because this video is going to show you why Kyrie's White might just be the spark. To ignite Broncos country, let me introduce you to the guy making noise before he's even officially stepped on the field. Kyrie's White, 24 years old, is the kind of player that reminds us why we love football. He didn't come from a powerhouse school, and he was never on the cover of a magazine. He's a guy who fought for every inch of his journey. He started at the University of Utah, where he spent 3 years learning, growing, and preparing for the next level. But it was at Utah State in 2024 where he really showed what he can do. In just one season, he hauled in 40 for catches for 526 yards and scored 3 touchdowns. Those aren't Hall of Fame numbers, but they show a guy who doesn't back down, knows how to find space in coverage, and never lets the ball slip through his hands. And there's more. Kyrie's isn't just a receiver. He's a special teams warrior. In 2024, he returned 8 kickoffs for 188 yards, averaging 23.5 yards per return. Oh, and let's not forget the block punt that completely shifted the momentum of a game. You know what that means, Broncos country? He's the kind of player who steps onto the field with energy, no matter the role. And here in Broncos country, we love that. He's the kind of guy who, when the game's on the line, makes the play that brings the stadium to its feet. But let's get real for a second. Broncos country, Denver's training camp is no joke. It's a battlefield where only the strongest survive. And Kyrie's White is stepping into that ring knowing the competition is fierce. Our wide receiver room is stacked. Cortland Sutton is the veteran leader, making clutch catches that leave us speechless. Marvin Mims is pure speed, the kind of guy who can turn a short pass into a 60-yard sprint. Devin Vell and Troy Franklin are out to prove they deserve more snaps, and third-round rookie Pat Bryant came in with high expectations. And Kyrie's has direct competition from guys like A.T. Perry, Michael Bandy, Jerjuan Newton, Joaquin Davis, and Courtney Jackson. It's a battle of titans for a few precious spots on the final 53-man roster. And here's a fun little twist. Kyrie shares jersey number 39 with cornerback Joshua Pickett. If both make the roster, one of them will have to switch numbers before the regular season begins. Seems like a small thing, but in the NFL, every detail matters. And Kyrie's gets that. He's not here for the ride. He came in as an undrafted free agent. No one called his name in the 2025 draft. After 7 rounds of silence, he could have walked away. But you know what he did. He grabbed the opportunity to try out at rookie minicamp. That means he had just a few days to impress coaches, earn a contract, and fight for a spot on the 90-man offseason roster. And he did it. At minicamp, Kyrie's ran crisp routes, showed reliable hands, and left the Broncos staff impressed. That's what we call a champion's mindset. Now let's talk about what Kyrie's brings to the offense. At 5 feet 10 inches and 185 pounds, he's not the most imposing figure on the field. But don't be fooled. He plays bigger than he looks. At Utah State's Pro Day, he ran a 40-yard dash in 4.56 seconds. Not the fastest time in the NFL, but more than enough to create separation and make key plays. He's agile, smart with his reads, and has one of our favorite traits, Velcro hands. In 2024, he had 0 drops on 40 for receptions. That's reliability. That's the kind of receiver a quarterback can trust when the game is on the line. And he's versatile. Kyrie's isn't just a slot guy or short route runner. He can line up outside, run deep routes, and as we said, dominate on special teams. Coach Sean Payton is known for valuing players who can do multiple things. And Kyrie's fits that mold perfectly. Remember that block punt at Utah State? That's the kind of play that shifts momentum, that breathes life into a team. And with our offense in 2025, led by quarterback Bo Nix, who's coming off a playoff season in 2024, we need guys who bring energy and unpredictability. Kyrie's might be the guy who, on a crucial third down, grabs a 15-yard pass and keeps the drive alive. Broncos country, 2024 was a season to remember. After years without a playoff appearance, our Denver Broncos came roaring back. 10 wins, 7 losses, and our first postseason berth since 2015. Bo Nix established himself as the quarterback of the future, showing poise in the pocket and leadership off the field. The defense, anchored by the beast that is Patrick Surtain, 2, became a wall that made opposing QBs tremble. But Coach Sean Payton made it clear the NFL waits for no one. Every season is a new war. That's where Kyrie's White comes in. He embodies that mindset of never settling, always striving. Training camp kicks off July 16 for rookies and July 22 for veterans. This is Kyrie's moment of truth. He's not just fighting for a roster spot. Realistically, he's battling for a place on the practice squad, and even that is a war. Every snap, every rep, every play will matter. But here's why I believe in him. He's already proven he can seize the moment. He's not here to be just another name on the list. He wants to be part of the future of Broncos country, and that's what gets us excited. Let's talk numbers for a second. Broncos country, in 2024, the Broncos passing attack was solid, but we're still missing that surprise element, that player who comes out of nowhere and changes the game. Courtland Sutton has 76 receptions for 1,052 yards in 2024, proving he's our WR1. Marvin Mims brought in 30 for receptions for 512 yards and 3 touchdowns. But our air game still needs depth guys who can step in and make a difference in specific moments. Kyrie's, with his precise route running and versatility, could be that guy. He doesn't need to be the star, he just needs to be the right guy at the right time. And there's more. Sean Payton's system loves players who can be used in multiple ways. Kyrie's has already shown he can contribute as a returner, blocker, and receiver. In training camp, he'll have the chance to prove that directly to Payton and offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi. If he can impress on special teams or make a clutch catch in a scrimmage, that might be enough to earn a closer look from the coaches. And Broncos country, we all know that sometimes that's all an underdog needs. A chance. So tell me, Broncos family, what's on your mind? Does Kyrie's White have what it takes to become a key piece in our offense or on special teams? Or do you think our wide receiver room is already locked in with the names we've got? Drop your opinion in the comments, because Broncos country always sees the game with clarity. And here's another one. If you were Sean Payton, how would you use Kyrie's? Would you give him slot snaps, make him your returner, or test him on deep routes? Call your play. We want to know how you build this attack. One thing we can't ignore is the potential impact Kyrie's could have on special teams. In Sean Payton's scheme, special teams are a weapon. Remember what Lutz hitting clutch field goals in 2024? Or Marvin Mims with explosive returns. Kyrie's could add another layer to that unit. His 188 kickoff return yards show he's got the instincts and the guts to handle the chaos of a return. And that block punt, that's the kind of play that makes a coach look at you and think, this guy's got something special. At training camp, he'll have the chance to show that to special teams coordinator Ben Kowalik and maybe even earn a roster spot just through his versatility. Broncos country, let's be real. Special teams is where underdogs shine. Do you think Kyrie's White could be that guy who changes a game with a return or an unexpected play? Or should he focus strictly on offense to secure a spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us, what's the special teams play from the Broncos that stuck with you the most in recent years? We want to feel that orange and blue energy. Broncos country, if you're fired up about the possibility of seeing Kyrie's White repping the orange and blue, don't wait. Subscribe to the channel right now to stay up to date with everything happening with our Denver Broncos news, analysis, behind the scenes, and all the passion from our family. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video, and share this with that one friend who's always shouting "Go Broncos" at the bar. Let's grow this channel like a roaring crowd at Empower Field at Mile High. Come on, fam, let's show the world the power of Broncos country. Listen, Broncos country, I won't lie, I'm a sucker for stories like Kyrie's White's. He reminds me of what the Denver Broncos have always stood for: grit, determination, and the will to prove that size or hype don't define a player. He may not have DK Metcalf's build or Tyreek Hill's speed, but he's got something you can't measure: heart. I bet he's going to make at least one play during training camp that'll make the coaches scratch their heads and think, is this the guy we've been looking for? He may not end up a starter, but I see him earning a spot on the practice squad and maybe even climbing to the active roster. Over time, he's the kind of player who makes us believe in the impossible, and that's exactly what Broncos country loves. So, Broncos family, what's your prediction for Kyrie's White? Do you think he'll surprise everyone at camp and earn a roster spot? Or will he shine on the practice squad before taking the next step? Drop your take in the comments. We want to hear the voice of the most passionate fans in the NFL. Don't forget to smash that like button, share the video with your fellow Broncos fans, and subscribe so you don't miss a second of this promising season. Until the next video, let's ride orange and blue.